The USCAA and Fayette TV thank Ford Business Machines, 700 Laurel Drive in Connellsville, for their support of our student athletes and the 2013 National Basketball Championships. Ford Business Machines believes in giving back to the community and is proud to make today's broadcast possible. Please visit Ford Business Machines today for your copier service, managed print services, IT services, and paperless technology needs, or call them at 800-633-3673.
You talked about the Roaring Lions, Steve. They haven't played in 2 weeks since that quarterfinal round loss in the PSUAC tournament against Montalto, and you kind of have to wonder, how are they going to respond this evening?
Yeah, you wonder what their psyche's going to be like, Brian. They've got it. That was a big upset. They thought they were going to win that game pretty easily, and it just didn't work out. They actually got a lead. It was kind of the opposite of what they were doing to teams all year. They would get down the last couple games of the year, and then they would kind of roar back and kind of take the lead at the end. But it actually happened to them in reverse. They got a big lead early in that first half, and then things kind of unraveled, and they really played pretty poorly in the second half. So Mook John's got to, if it did anything, it probably got the attention of his team. And he's got some senior leadership. Will Gaines, from Capitol Heights, Maryland, he's going to have to kind of rally the troops. Him and Pratt and Wins, those are the guys that have been here before, and this is their last go around. So a lot of the onus will be put on those seniors today.
Vermont Tech, one of the hottest teams in the USCAA. We mentioned they captured the Yankee Conference title in the postseason, and Steve, they actually won in the championship game over the New Hampshire Technical Institute, and New Hampshire Technical Institute is the #1 seed in this USCAA tournament, and they actually won that game on the Monday the brackets were released. So the committee really didn't factor in that win into the final seeding, and you kind of have to wonder, how is this team from Vermont Tech going to come out tonight after capturing the Yankee Small Conference postseason title against Penn State Fayette?
Yeah, you wonder. You and I watched several of their games on tape, and they shoot a lot of threes. Kyle Kissenberth, he's a three-point specialist. Alex Tyrell, he shoots the three. Down low, Josh Lindsay, he's 6'6", but he doesn't really play that big. He's not a big bruiser down there. He's tall, but he doesn't bruise up. So it's a decent matchup for the Roaring Lions. But they've got a lot of guard play. They got Brandon Montano. He's a 6-foot junior transfer from Division I Hawaii, so he's got Division I experience. He's averaging 16 points a game. He's very, very quick. Can shoot the three, but he's more of a quick, kind of off-the-dribble type player. So they've got some players. They've got a kid from Australia, Sam Marler. He's averaging almost 9 points a game. He's a freshman from Sydney, Australia. So they got kids from all over the place. And, it's amazing that, Roaring Lions have kids from California, Hawaii, Washington, D.C. This school in Vermont has players from Australia, Hawaii. I mean, this is kind of neat to see. But they are going to be an interesting matchup for Mook John's squad. It's like I said, I think it was an upset, certainly for them to win their conference championship, and just to be seated where they are is got to put a little bit of a chip on their shoulder.
They also have a first-team All-American in Alex Tyrell, who averages 16 points a game, and you mentioned the international flavor on this Vermont Tech squad, Steve. They're located in Vermont and have only one player from the state of Vermont on their roster. Players from China, the Cayman Islands. You mentioned Australia.
Melbourne, Florida, Palm Bay, Florida. You got two kids from Australia, one from Hawaii, Washington, D.C., so, China. So they're getting from all over the place. So it's a kind of an international flair, and they are here in Fayette County, Pennsylvania, Uniontown, Pennsylvania, to play in a national championship, and they got the Roaring Lions are in their way, so they're coming to play.
The tip-off of the Penn State Fayette and Vermont Tech game pushed back a little bit tonight. There were many games played here at the main arena. Right now, a game between Warren Wilson and Albany wrapping up, and as soon as that game wraps up, there'll be about a 15-minute break in between games, and then the Fayette campus Roaring Lions will tip off against Vermont Tech. And Steve, some lineup changes for Penn State Fayette expected tonight. Coach Mookie John is going to insert Darius Mack in the starting lineup as he looks for a spark plug after that PSU AC quarterfinal loss.
Yeah, Max had some pretty decent games. He had, just averaging 4 points a game out of Washington, D.C., just a sophomore. But he adds a little bit of quickness to the lineup. And, of course, I'm sure you're going to go with Ryan Hart, Cunningham, Wins, and Pratt. And Ryan Hart really had a disappointing game in that last game that, the Roaring Lions lost. And he is going to look to bounce back. He's a 10-point guy, but his job is on the rebound. He averages almost 8 rebounds a game, and he is a force down low. We kind of kid. He's our tight end, middle linebacker type. He looked like he should have been a linebacker for some Division I football team, but he's just solid player. He's a hustler, and he's got to get those garbage points, those garbage rebounds for the Roaring Lions, to open up the scoring from Brandon Cunningham, who has been their best player this year. Brandon Cunningham, a sophomore, 6'3", from Rancho Cucamonga, California, 17.7 a game. He's been electric on the court. He's a high flyer. He's had some spectacular dunks this season, so he's been a lot of fun. And Wins, again, the other key, Brian, is how is David Wins going to come out? He has been hobbled all year. He hasn't played as much, and it's shown when he came back. He really wasn't the same player he was last year, and I think he'd be the first one to tell you that. He needs to get off. He's got on a better start tonight and get going.
The winner will play Andrews University, the number 2 seed, at 2 o'clock tomorrow here at the main arena, and if the Fayette campus Roaring Lions win, Steve, will have the game for you here on WMBS.
It's going to be a lot of basketball. We'll be back here at 2 p.m. tomorrow, and if they win today, so they got to get through this one. But this, Brian, this should be a really good matchup. We watch, like you said, you and I both watch these games separately at home, and we both said the same thing to each other, that I think this is a team the Fayette campus Roaring Lions can beat, but they also, they can get beat, but it's a good matchup, and they should have a decent chance in this game. Should be a good one.
Tip-off just ahead on Fayette TV, and when we come back on WMBS, we'll talk to Mookie John, the head coach of the Penn State Fayette Roaring Lions, here on 590 WMBS, Fayette County Television, and the MSA Sports Network.
The USCAA and Fayette TV thank Ford Business Machines, 700 Laurel Drive in Connellsville, for their support of our student-athletes and the 2013 National Basketball Championships. Ford Business Machines believes in giving back to the community and is proud to make today's broadcast possible. Please visit Ford Business Machines today for your copier service, managed print services, IT services, and paperless technology needs, or call them at 800-633-3673.
Hey, thank you very much, Brian. Like you talked about, out here in the crowd, a great crowd on hand for the Penn State Fayette game, just about to get underway. Now talking with Jack Purcell, an attorney for Davis & Davis. And Jack, as a former player for the Penn State Fayette Roaring Lions, got to be a lot of fun to come out here and get the experience of seeing your alma mater in the USCAA tournament.
It's a great experience here. We're really having a good time. My daughter and I are here. I played for Fayette campus back when they were called the Marquee. That's dating myself a little bit, back in the late 70s. But it was a wonderful experience for me to be able to participate in intercollegiate athletics. It really was enjoyable my first 2 years in college to be able to play for Penn State Fayette. We had a great tradition. We were good. We weren't championship quality teams, but we played hard, and we tried to uphold the great tradition that had already been built. This campus had great basketball teams from when it began playing basketball in the late 60s, and I'm glad to see that it's continuing now with this wonderful new facility here, and a lot of emphasis being put on basketball and the opportunity that these are true student athletes. Sometimes you wonder at the Division I schools whether it's just more about the athletes. But these young men and women, they're true student athletes. They're playing for the love of the game. None of them are going to be professionals, and it's just great to see.
And Jack, the Fayette campus, this is the 5th year they've hosted this tournament. So, they've got to be doing something right, and it's cool. It's cool to see it coming back year after year and see the athletes year after year.
Exactly, and the facility's wonderful. Penn State deserves tremendous credit for the investment they've made in our community. The tournament itself, Fay Penn, as well as Nemacolin Woodlands, have really devoted a lot of effort and money into making this tournament ever greater every year, and I think it's a wonderful thing for the community. We were downtown tonight. Unfortunately, it was raining, so the parade didn't happen, but it looked like a very nice event was going on at the State Theater. Harold Vetters, who's a treasure of the local community, I mean, just a wonderful musician, was playing, and between there and here, just a wonderful night for the community.
And Jack, a final question. I don't think I have to ask you this, but Fayette, Vermont Tech, who you got in tonight's game?
Well, Penn State Fayette all the way. Come on, you know, this is the basketball area here. They can't play basketball in Vermont. They might beat us at skiing or something, but not basketball. We're a basketball county, a basketball town, and I'm confident we're going to prevail.
Jack, great to see you as always. Enjoy the game.
Thank you very much.
Brian, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Mike. We'll check in with you throughout the course of the game this evening. And Steve, the starting lineups are on the board. Let's set them for the folks on the radio and on television.
Okay, Brian, for the Roaring Lions from Penn State, head coach Mookie John in his third season, coming in with a 14-12 overall mark, 13-4 in PSU play this year. At guard, starting at guard, a 5'9" senior, 15 points a game, number 10, James Pratt out of Uniontown, Pennsylvania. At forward, a 6'7" senior, Washington, D.C., Kima Charter School, 14.9 points a game, number 11, David Wins. At guard, a 6'3" sophomore, Rancho Cucamonga, California, 17.7 a game, number 12, Brandon Cunningham. At forward, 6'5" senior from Pittsburgh's Keystone Oaks High School, 10 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, number 14, Ryan Hart. And at guard tonight, a 6'2" sophomore, Washington, D.C., 4 points a game, number 23, Darius Mack.
The starters for Chris Lasers, Vermont Tech Knights 21-9 overall, 12-3 out of the Yankee Small College Conference. The Knights to start at guard, a 6-foot freshman from Sydney, Australia, averaging 8.8 points a game, number 3, Sam Marler. Also starting at guard, a 6'3" senior from Sydney, Australia, number 4, Alex Tyrell. Tyrell averages 16.5 points a game. Starting at forward, a 6'3" freshman from Winter Park, Florida, averaging 10.7 points a game, number 20, Cal Kissenberth. Also starting at guard, a 6'1" freshman from Melbourne, Florida, averaging 8 points a game, number 24, Andrew Scott. And starting at center, a 6'6" senior from Palm Bay, Florida, averaging 14.4 points a game and 7.5 rebounds a game, number 41, Josh Lindsay. We're back with the opening tip-off right after this. Vermont Tech and Penn State Fayette, a USCAA first-round matchup from the main arena here on WMBS and Fayette County Television.
If you are wearing a hat, we would ask that you please remove it in proper respect for America and the playing of our national anthem. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad sun and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched, birds of gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red flames above bursting air came through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the The nightcap of our first night of the tournament features a Division II matchup between the Vermont Tech Green Knights of Randolph Center, Vermont, and the Penn State Fayette Roaring Lions from the Montparnasse, Pennsylvania. And now let's meet this evening's starting lineups. First for Penn State Fayette, coached by Mark John, assisted by Jujuan Davis. A 5'10" sophomore guard, number 23, Darius Mack. A 6'1" sophomore guard, number 12, Brandon Cunningham.
Steve Suberg back here at the Community Center main arena. The Penn State Fayette Roaring Lions starters being introduced to the crowd here in attendance. And Steve, by far the biggest crowd we've seen out here all season.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting, Brian. And the Roaring Lions wearing their road blues tonight as they're the lower seed. Or the higher seed? How would you say that? The higher seed. They're the higher seed, aren't they?
Seeded 10th. Vermont Tech seeded 7th. Vermont Tech in their home whites trimmed in green. They'll be moving left to right on your radio dial or across your television sets. Our referees here this evening are Cal Stewart, Harold Barner, and Quinn McGuire. Again, the Roaring Lions 14-12 overall, seeded 10th. Vermont Tech 21-9 overall, seeded 7th. Again, to recap the starters for Vermont Tech: Sam Marlar, Alex Tyrell, Cal Kissenberth, Andrew Scott, and Josh Lindsay. For Fayette campus, James Pratt, David Wins, Brandon Cunningham, Ryan Hart, and Darius Mack. And Steve, also of note for Vermont Tech, they'll bring Brandon Matano off the bench, the 6-foot junior from Honolulu. You mentioned in the first segment of our pregame show, Matano transferred from Division I Hawaii and averages 16.3 points a game.
And he put on a show in warm-ups, Brian, as he was going through the layup lines, and he wasn't allowed to dunk because the officials were out here, but he was showing some major league leaping ability as he was bouncing the ball up off the backboard, off the rim, and alley-ooping him to himself, and coming down. Looked like he could have put on a spectacular dunk show if he were allowed to, but he was pretty impressive to watch.
And the winner to take on Andrews tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and if Fayette wins this game, we'll have that game for you here on WMBS. The Penn State women also in action tomorrow. They'll be taking on Central Maine Community College, a 6 o'clock tip, and another game will carry here on WMBS and Fayette County Television.
And Darius Mack gets the start tonight. He's got his blue shoes on, and for some reason, we'll have to find out why, maybe later, he's got green socks on, pulled up kind of high, so that's kind of a different look for him. Maybe he's
getting ready for St. Patrick's Day in a couple of weeks. It'll be Josh Lindsay to take the opening tip-off for Vermont Tech against David Wins for Fayette campus, and Wins wins the tap back for the Roaring Lions. Quickly across here to Darius Mack, high on the left, being guarded by Sam Marlar. Up top now to Ryan Hart between the circles. Hart, a little bounce pass back to Pratt, rotates off to his right to Brandon Cunningham, second-team All-American for the Roaring Lions. That was announced last night at the awards banquet. Top again to Pratt, directs traffic. Shot clock at 13, game clock at 19:36 left here in the first half. Pratt launches a long three off the back iron. Offensive rebound, David Wins. Misses wildly on the putback, and Vermont Tech out of the mix with the basketball quickly in transition. Looking to find Lindsay out of his range and out of bounds. And back to the Fayette campus Roaring Lions, Steve.
One thing we noticed one thing we noticed, Brian, they like to throw the ball down the court, and they sometimes throw it away, a little bit wild sometimes for Vermont Tech.
Cunningham with it up top to David Wins. Sorry if we interrupted your conversation there with Mooks.
Yeah,
Steve.
Mooks asked me if that's his drink of water. Actually, that was the coach's water from last game, I believe.
Here's Cunningham left of the lane, pulls back outside the arc, looking for their first points tonight. Is long two on the way in and out. And Vermont's Tyrell with the rebound. Tyrell, a first-team All-American for Vermont Tech. Pulls it up to Marlar. Bounce pass off to his right, and draining the three is Kissenberth, the freshman from Winter Park, Florida.
And no, they changed it to a 2, Brian.
Said his foot was on the line. Kissenberth came into this game with 66 made threes.
Yeah, they do.
So far this season.
Between him and Tyrell and Matano, they like to shoot the threes, Brian.
So Vermont Tech an early 2-0 lead here over Penn State Fayette. Hard up top to David Wins, has it on the right wing. Back left side to James Pratt. Up top to Cunningham, nice save there after some pressure from Tyrell. Back to his left again to Pratt. Bounce pass inside left of the lane to Ryan Hart. Hart trying to back in here on Kissenberg. Shot clock down to 6. Hart's going to kick it out to Pratt, and now Mack, who's going to launch the 3 from the right wing and air ball. Ball loose near side and a shot clock violation as Mack's shot attempt from the right side never caught iron, so the shot clock did not reset, and the Roaring Lions unable to get a shot away that made contact there, Steve.
Yeah, Mack thought he got fouled there, but no call from the official. One thing you notice at this level, Brian, they do let him play.
Marler brought it across for Vermont Tech. It's dumped down low to Lindsay. Double team comes over, and the Roaring Lions do a good job to deflect that shot and get possession. Mack up to Pratt, and now Cunningham up top in the Vermont Tech zone. Cunningham pulls it over to Wins, back to Brandon Cunningham. Vermont Tech an early 2-0 lead over Penn State Fayette here at the 17:40 mark of the first half. Ryan Hart on the right wing. Up top to David Wins, the big guy from the outside. Good look there on the 3. Couldn't get it to fall. Kissenberg the rebound for Vermont Tech.
It was a good look, Brian, but that's not where Coach John wants him shoot from. He wants Wins getting points around the basket.
Kissenberg another 3-point attempt. This one coming up short on the left side. Fayette campus the rebound. Quickly across here to Brandon Cunningham. Cunningham near wing. Up top again to James Pratt. Pratt bounce pass right wing down to David Wins. We played almost 3 minutes, and the Roaring Lions have yet to score. They'll work it down low to James Pratt. Pratt's shot attempt partially blocked and into the hands of Andrew Scott for Vermont Tech. Up now to Marler. Sent down low to Lindsay. Up top to Kissenberg for 3, in and out. Cunningham skies for the rebound for Fayette campus. Again across here for the Roaring Lions. Cunningham spins inside, off balance shot short. Kissenberg another rebound. He's been active here early on. Headman pass up to Scott, who finishes the play with a scoop shot. Andrew Scott, the freshman from Melbourne, Florida, putting Vermont Tech up 4-0 here at the 16:32 mark of the first half.
And you see right away that Vermont Tech wants to run the ball. Every chance they get, they're going to send it down the floor.
Pratt up top to Brandon Cunningham. Cunningham left to the lane. A whistle and a foul called against Vermont Tech. It'll get called here on Andrew Scott, his first team first, non-shooting.
Yeah, kind of shoved Cunningham, got stumbled down a little bit, and no shot.
Pratt works it into Hart, back to James Pratt, resets from the near corner. Sends it up top to Cunningham, and now Mack on the far side. Mack bounce pass into David Wins. Wins right of the lane. Fights inside. A shot attempt blocked by Lindsay into the hands of Alex Tyrell for Vermont Tech. Tyrell through center. His pass attempt deflected and picked up by Fayette campus's James Pratt. Pratt now left of the lane, trying to get free off of a screen. Nothing much there. Now a bounce pass inside to Ryan Hart. Hart turnaround shot on the way up the back iron, no good. Again, Fayette campus yet to score. We've played 4.5 minutes. Vermont Tech with it back in the Fayette campus zone.
And again, another try by Vermont Tech to throw the ball down the court on a fast break. They did it, but they kind of pulled it back out.
They'll work it down low to Lindsay. Lindsay coming inside, had it stripped away, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Fayette campus going out. And it will remain Vermont Tech's basketball as Gaines and Dier Jenkins now enter the game for the Roaring Lions. Will Gaines, a senior from Capitol Heights, Maryland. Business major for the Roaring Lions.
He is a very good defensive player and kind of the heart and soul of this team. He's the big brother for everybody out there.
Bounce pass inside to Lindsay, misses out in front. The Roaring Lions the rebound. Bring it back across here to Brandon Cunningham. Cunningham up top to Dier Jenkins. On the switch looking for Gaines, almost lost the handle. Nice save there from Jenkins. He'll dump down into Wins. Wins fights to the basket and draws the contact. It'll be the first personal foul whistled on Josh Lindsay and the second team foul on the Knights.
And again, you can see, Brian, that David Wins not quite the player he was last year. Just looks a little bit sluggish down low, and he's just not getting the ball to the basket like he did last year.
Playing with a brace on his left ankle from a high ankle sprain sustained almost 2 months ago, as he drains his first of 2 here at the foul line.
First point for the Roaring Lions.
Senior from D.C. averages 14.9 points a game. He's 58% for the season from the foul line. Second free throw on the way and good again for David Wins. So the Roaring Lions back to within 2 of Vermont Tech at 4-2 as we approach the 15-minute mark of the first half. Kissenberg pulling back here to Marler. And now set on the far side to Brandon Matano from Hawaii, who just checked into the game. Former D1 player And he knocks down the three from the left wing. His 43rd made three of the season. Puts the Knights up 5 at 7-2. Made that look easy, Steve.
Yes, he did.
Just a little step back and knocked it down. Now Matano will pick up James Pratt here as the Roaring Lions work the basketball in the Knight zone, and a 5-second call against Pratt up top. That'll take us to immediate timeout with 14:32 left here in the first half. Vermont Tech 7, Fayette Campus 2, and we're back in a moment here on WMBS and Fayette County Television. Vermont Tech leading Fayette Campus 7-2 as we come out of the media timeout.
Brian, Fayette Campus has to feel fortunate to be down only 7-2. 14:32 left. They're shooting. They are 0 for 9 from the field so far. 0 for 3 is the Roaring Lions from the field.
Mike Sackley, I assume things look pretty ugly up top as well.
Not looking good right now for the Roaring Lions. They got to find a way to get the ball down low. I mean, it's just been a struggle so far this evening.
Vermont Tech with the basketball in a 5-point lead. Marlar has it up top, being watched here by James Pratt. Comes free off the screen, takes it inside, looking for a kick-out attempt, and a whistle down low.
There'll be a kick on, believe on either Wins or Pratt. Got their foot on the ball there.
So Tyrell will reload here for the Knights. Sent up top to Lindsay. Off to his right to Tyrell. Nice pass back inside to Lindsay. Kicks it out to Kissenberth. Now far side to Marlar. Back into Lindsay. Turnaround shot out in front. It's good for Josh Lindsay. Lindsay's first 2 points of the night put the Knights up 9-2 over Fayette Campus here at the 13:56 mark of the first half. So the Roaring Lions once again, Steve, putting themselves in an early hole. De'Aaron Jenkins from the outside. 3 ball off the back iron, no good. Whistle and a foul called down low.
And they're going to call that on number 4.
Tyrell.
Tyrell pushing off, trying to. Cunningham had position there, and it was a long rebound. He didn't need to do anything there, but the ball, he just shoved him underneath the basket.
Off the inbounds pass, Wynn sent it back to Pratt. His shot attempt was blocked. Pratt got knocked down, and we'll have a foul upcoming.
And there you saw the leaping ability of Brandon Matano as he cleanly blocked that shot, but he fell into Pratt with the body, so he gets the foul call. They're going to call that after the shot. That's pretty interesting, Brian, as he blocked the shot and then he ran into him.
I think it was a good call, though,
yeah.
Steve. The right call was made there on the floor. Here's Cunningham, kicks it out to Jenkins, looking for another 3 ball all the way. This time he knocks it down from the near side. De'Aaron Jenkins giving the Roaring Lions some life here now as they get back to within 4 at 9-5. Now Vermont Tech with it back in the Fayette Campus zone. Again, Matano knocks down another 3. Brandon Matano, the junior from Honolulu, puts the Knights up 7 again at 12-5. And sometimes for the folks that are on the television side, sometimes we'll say near side. It's probably far side as you see it on the television side, but near side as we describe it here on the radio, as Wins takes it down low and muscles a basket. Second made field goal of the game for the Roaring Lions. They're back to within 5 again at 12-7. And now a little pressure. Gaines trying to force the basketball loose. He'll pick it up, and the Fayette Campus bench getting a timeout called.
Yeah, good job by Mook John. And notice his man in trouble rolling on the floor. Call a timeout before they get the travel call.
Be a quick 30-second timeout. We'll take it as well. Back in 30 seconds here on WMBS and Fayette County TV.
Quality athletic apparel and equipment to student athletes. The first Assure official 2013 USCAA Basketball Championship merchandise from Anaconda. Visit their booth in the concourse of the main arena or to learn more about Anaconda, visit their website at www.anacondasports.com.
Back here after the Penn State timeout. The Roaring Lions with the basketball inbounding from the far side. Really a heads-up play there, Steve.
Yeah. Mook John saw that his man Gaines was down on the ground, and instead of him trying to get up and have a traveling call, he called a quick timeout.
Here's Cunningham up top. 3 ball on the way and good. Brandon Cunningham, his 46th made 3 of the season. Second-team All-American in the USCAA, has the Roaring Lions back to within 2 at 12-10. Kissenberth trying to fight around Pratt, now backs outside the arc. Will hand off now to Tyrell. Guarded here by Cunningham. Back to Kissenberth. Now check that. That's Marlar on the near wing. Marlar now coming inside. Bounce pass down to Kissenberth, who leans and scores. Kyle Kissenberth.
Well, the
now
guy that,
4 tonight.
The guy that has 66 threes, he's making 2s all of a sudden tonight.
Oh, his first was a long 2 from up top. Foot was on the line. Cunningham, a little floater in off the glass, no good. Put back, score it. Brandon Cunningham now with 5. Roaring Lions back to within 2. And now Vermont Tech turns it over. Errant pass from Matano, intercepted by Cunningham.
Yeah, that's just too aggressive on the break. They tried to get crazy with it.
Good ball movement down low to Pratt, who finishes the play out in front. James Pratt knocks the game up at 14. Here at the 11:30 mark of the first half.
This is more typical of what the Roaring Lions did. They would get behind early in a lot of games and then make a comeback. And I'm sure this is kind of like what Mook John wants to see.
Marlar, nice pass down low. Kissenberth draws the contact out in front. Shot attempt no good, but 2 free throws upcoming for Cal Kissenberth, the freshman from Winter Park, Florida.
Dangerous play there as Kissenberth got pump faked and got Ryan Hart up in the air. And then he kind of bobbled the ball. Almost got called for traveling, but big Ryan Hart landed on him. And thank goodness everybody came out okay there.
Kissenberth 64% for the season from the foul line. He gets a friendly bounce off the back of the rim and in on his first free throw attempt.
That was the first foul on the Roaring Lions.
The Knights as a team shoot 69% from the free throw line. Kissenberth second on the way. This one rattles out.
Wow. That hit every part of the rim.
Would not drop. Fayette campus the rebound as Pratt hands off to Cunningham. Cunningham into the forecourt. Cunningham now working around his man, pulling it back out to Will Gaines. Up top to Ryan Hart, looking to knock down the 3. It's on the way, but too strong. Skying for the rebound is Marlar for Vermont Tech. Marlar across on the near side. Sends it down low to Lindsay off his hands and out of bounds and over to Fayette campus.
As we talked about, Brian, they seem to really push the issue and they throw a lot of balls away. We saw that on film. They make some passes that just make you scratch your head. I mean, they look like pretty good, under control players, and then all of a sudden they make some passes that you just make you want to think, what was he looking at?
Fayette campus the basketball down by 1, and Cunningham with the left hand gives the Roaring Lions their first lead of the night. Brandon Cunningham with 7 this evening. The Roaring Lions up 16-15.
Oh, there's going to be a foul on Cunningham. He kind of stumbled right into Tyrell.
Tyrell, a senior from Sydney, Australia. One of 2 players from Sydney on this Vermont Tech roster. Sam Marlar, the other, a freshman, and Tyrell, a senior. And now Matano to trigger it in here for Vermont Tech. Matano sends it into Kissenberth and some contact here with Ryan Hart.
Yeah, that's just that's a silly foul by Hart, being aggressive, trying to get a steal, and he got caught up because of the way the pass came in there. He stumbled in to Kissenberth, and second quick foul on Hart. Now all of a sudden the Roaring Lions with 3 fouls. And Hart will take a seat on the bench.
It's Penn State Fayette 16, Vermont Tech 15. Ball bounced in to Marlar up top.
And Darius Mack, Brian, checked back in for Hart.
Over to Kissenberth. Kissenberth, a floater in the lane, off the glass, no good. Rebound tipped over to David Wins.
That's a good job by Jenkins to tip that ball over to Wins.
And into the night zone. Pratt holds on the near side. Now directs traffic. Now we'll dribble off to his left and pull it back to Brandon Cunningham high on the left. And now Pratt again. Shot clock at 17. Pratt now makes a nice move inside, and a foul whistled here on the Knights. Looks like it'll go on 0-0 here. Powery Sans, 6'7" freshman from the Cayman Islands.
He's going to be open, James.
And you thought, Steve, he played rather well in some of the film you watched on the Knights.
A little inconsistent, but he was very tall, athletic, but looks like he just hasn't played a lot of basketball.
Well, the Knights steal the inbounds pass here, and Powery Sans turns it over. So Fayette Campus gets it back with a 1-point lead as we go under 10 minutes left here in the first half. Cunningham now driving baseline, floater on the way, no good. Kissenberth the rebound for Vermont Tech. Over to Marler. Marler now settling things down for the Knights. Picked up here by Pratt. Works left to the lane. Jumper from 12 short. Mack the rebound. Mack up the floor, might have got tripped up. He did. Foul called on Vermont Tech. And that'll take us to immediate timeout with 9:25 left here in the first half. Fayette Campus 16, Vermont Tech 15. Back in a moment on Fayette County TV and 590 WMBS.
Will Gaines and Andrew Foyer in the game now for Fayette. Immediate timeout. Peach's Firehouse Restaurant in Connellsville is a proud supporter of the 2013 USCAA Basketball Championships. If you're looking for a great place to eat in town, Firehouse Restaurant is less than a mile from the arena, heading north on Route 119. Firehouse provides outstanding atmosphere and a wide assortment of lunch and dinner menu items, including pizza, sandwiches, steak, and the local favorite, pierogies. Firehouse has dining for small groups and for teams. Additionally, Peach's Market is adjacent to the restaurant, so you can also stock up on groceries for your week-long stay. Also, once again, we'd like to remind everyone that this game is being broadcast on 590 AM, WMBS, and on the MSA Sports Network. The WMBS announcers are Brian Mrozak and Steve Suprick.
I'm Mrozak along with Steve Suprick and Mike Sackley. Mike high above the main arena. How are things looking from up top? Obviously looking better for the Roaring Lions, who have a 1-point lead, Mike.
Well, you guys were talking in the pregame show about how this Roaring Lions team had quite a bit of a layoff coming off of the loss to Mont Alto in the PSU AC tournament. So I think they maybe needed to get 4 or 5 minutes to really get their legs under them, and they've come out firing. A few threes will get you back into the game quickly, and really impressed with Mook's squad as of the last 4 or 5 minutes here.
Steve, some early stat highlights.
Well, they've improved their shooting percentage from 0.0 to now it's to 28%. But Vermont Tech shooting 50% from the field. So, you know, that's bodes well for Fayette Campus. They're up by 1, and they're shooting much more, worse percentage. So that's a good sign for the Roaring Lions.
Here's Andrew Hoy, the big guy down low. Little baby hook, no good. Tyrell, the rebound for Vermont Tech. Sends it up to Marler. Bounce pass over to Kissenberth. Kissenberth fighting up top. Well, around here's Matano. Kicks it back out near side. 3-ball rattles out for Tyrell. Offensive rebound. Scored on the putback for Powery Sans. The freshman from the Cayman Islands puts Vermont Tech back on top, 17-16. 8:50 left here in the first half. As James Pratt brings it back across. Over to Andrew Hoy on the left wing. Up top now to David Wins. And now James Pratt, the winner to take on Andrews University tomorrow here at 2 o'clock. And as you said, Steve, a traveling violation on Darius Mack.
Big stop, big stop.
We'll give the basketball back to Vermont Tech as the Knights now lead by 1, 17-16. 8:37 left here in the first half. Kissenberth to trigger it in and hands it in to Alex Tyrell. Picked up by Darius Mack. Tyrell brings it across. Now met by David Wins. Tyrell trying to drive. Kicks it out to Kissenberth. Kissenberth's 3 on the way and good. Cal Kissenberth, his first made 3 of the game, Steve, but he has 8 points, and that basket there puts the Knights up by 4. 20-16. Gaines back on the other side. Thought about the 3. Bounce pass inside. David Wins. Powers his way to the basket, but a miss. Matano the rebound for Vermont Tech.
That's a shot he's got to make, Brian. He gets in there that close. The big guy, former All-American, needs to make a shot down there.
And a traveling violation down low on Andrew Scott for Vermont Tech. He actually collided with his own guy. Ran into the pal down low. Lindsay and company.
Brandon Cunningham's going to come back in, probably from Mack or maybe Hoy.
Roaring Lions, the basketball down by 4. Wins. Over to Pratt. Open look. He's going to launch the three and knock it down. James Pratt now with 5. That's his 27th made 3 of the season. And the Roaring Lions back to within 1 of Vermont Tech at 20-19. Tyrell stripped by Mack. Mack coming back for an uncontested layup to put the Roaring Lions back in the lead at 21-20.
I don't know how he got that, Brian. It just kind of looked like an odd play. It didn't even look like he touched it. Almost like he dribbled it off his own foot and went backwards, and Mack was right there to take it away.
And Vermont Tech looked rejected, didn't even come back. After the turnover, they almost cough it up again. Nice save, far side Matano. Keeps it alive to Kissenberg. Matano gets it back, give and go. And Matano finishes the play to put Vermont Tech back in the lead at 22-21. So what looked like, Steve, almost a turnover there results in 2 points for the Knights. Matano with 8. Vermont Tech up 1 again at 22-21. Wins over to Pratt, hands off to Gaines. Gaines spins inside, nice move, shot out of the way, and he banks it home. Will Gaines putting the Roaring Lions back up 1 again at 23-22. Tyrell back into the Fayette campus zone. Works left to the lane. Sends it down low to Lindsay. Lindsay out in front. D'd up nicely by Hoy, but Lindsay puts it over the big guy and in. Josh Lindsay, the senior from Palm Bay, Florida, has 4. Vermont Tech back up a point at 24-23.
Good defense, though, by Hoy. Nice effort. Really held his ground there against Lindsay. It was a tough shot.
Hoy giving the Roaring Lions some good minutes out there. 6 minutes left here in the first half. Fayette campus the basketball down by 1. Hoy left to the lane, out again to Will Gaines. Gaines comes baseline, fights inside, loses the handle, out of bounds, but last touch by Vermont Tech, so the Roaring Lions keep possession.
That's the one good thing of having Wins out earlier in the year. You get guys like Hoy, who really didn't get a lot of minutes last year, got some good minutes this year, and now he comes in and gives you some quality minutes.
Gaines triggers it in to Wins. Wins trying to fight off the double team. Still holding left to the lane, now comes inside, pivot shot on the way, blocked away by Lindsay, but regained near side by Brandon Cunningham. Shot clock down to 3, Cunningham trapped, needs help, shot clock down to 1. Cunningham's off balance shot off the back iron, but they're going to say a shot clock violation before the shot attempt from Cunningham.
Got to know what's happening out there. He had plenty of time to recognize the shot clock going down. And again, Brian, that's another example of David Wins, not quite the same player he was a year ago.
Matano up top. Fighting inside, now kicks it out. Kissenberg for 3. In and out. Offensive rebound. Scott keeps it alive for the Knights.
Long rebound that time for Vermont Tech. Big bounce off the rim. Tough break for the Roaring Lions.
Up top to Marler, trying to trigger it into Kissenberg. Comes loose near side, deflected out, but last touch going out by Fayette campus's Dear Jenkins. So the ball remains with Vermont Tech here in the Fayette campus zone with 5:16 left here in the first half. Vermont Tech leading 24-23. Ball worked into Brandon Cunningham, and Cunningham just finds the loose basketball, takes it on the other side and dunks it home.
Call a technical foul
for hanging on the rim.
Yeah.
They'll count the basket.
Wow.
And Cunningham, Steve, Vermont Tech threw the ball in, and none of the players knew it was in for play.
I think what happened was they passed it to Matano. It kind of slipped out of his hands. He didn't think he would pass it in. The ref let it go. Cunningham takes it down, dunks it, and then he hangs on the rim. And they'll let you hang on the rim a little bit, but if he's doing a chin-up on the rim, they're going to call it. You know, you can't do that. I mean, they'll let you hang on there for safety reasons, but just to show off like that, they're not going to let him get away with it.
Kissenberg misses the first of 2 technical free throws.
So right now, it doesn't really hurt Cunningham too bad other than he gets that foul.
Kissenberg, though, makes the second. He's now 2 of 4 in this game from the foul line. So we're knotted up at 25, and it will be Vermont Tech's basketball here with 5:10 left in the first half.
So the only thing that really caught you is 1 point, but more importantly, though, a foul on Cunningham. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him later.
Cunningham with 9 so far, leading the way for the Roaring Lions. Kissenberg with 9 for Vermont Tech, and now Vermont Tech taking a quick timeout with 5:10 left here in the first half. Game knotted up at 25. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout as well here on WMBS and Fayette County TV.
Basketball National Championships. Nemacolin is a family and luxury vacation destination on 2,000 wooded acres in the Laurel Highlands of southwestern Pennsylvania. From the luxurious Forbes 5-star AAA 5-diamond Falling Rock Boutique Hotel to the comfort of your RV, Nemacolin's 6 lodging options cater to everyone's personal choice with a variety of amenities. It's another season at Nemacolin Woodlands Resort.
Fayette campus in Vermont Tech, the winner to take on Andrews University tomorrow at 2 o'clock here at the main arena. If the Fayette campus Roaring Lions win, Steve, will have the game here on WMBS, and we'll also have the Penn State Fayette women's game for you tomorrow here at the main arena at 6 o'clock against the top seed in the women's D2 field, Central Maine Community College. Here's Vermont Tech taking it inside, a little drive from Matano. A miss, but a traveling violation called on the Roaring Lions off the rebound.
Who they called that on? It must have been on Mack as he got the steal, and he shuffled his feet as he threw the ball down.
That'll take us to immediate timeout with 4:56 left here in the first half. Knotted up at 25. Back in a moment on WMBS and FCTV. Back here at the main arena, tied up at 25, Vermont Tech. And the Fayette campus Roaring Lions. Brian Morozak, Steve Subrick, and Mike Stackley here on WMBS and Fayette County Television.
And Brian, they are the Roaring Lions inching back, shooting 10 out of 28 from the field, 3 out of 8 from three-point. So 35 and 37% respectively, and going against 55 and 50% from Vermont Tech. So the game's still tied, so the Roaring Lions doing a good job.
Sent into Kissenberth, baseline. Now works outside the arc up top. Pulls off to his right to Matano. Matano guarded here by Jenkins. Back off to his right, and a 3-ball on the way and good from Sam Marler. His first points of the game come from outside the arc and put Vermont Tech up 28-25. James Pratt to enter at the next whistle for the Roaring Lions. Here's Ryan Hart off to his left to David Wins. Wins over to Cunningham. Cunningham ahead fake, stays with it off to his left to Jenkins. Back to Cunningham as Jenkins slipped on the play and kept alive to Ryan Hart. Hart right of the lane, fights baseline inside, kicks it out to Jenkins, looking to answer back with a 3, and he does. Dear Jenkins, his second made 3-ball of the game. He has 6, and we're knotted up at 28 again.
That's what he does. He's a great catch and shooter. There's a steal.
Cunningham, and a whistle. They're going to say Cunningham out of bounds on the near side, and that's a huge sigh of relief for Mookie John that the foul was not whistled there on Cunningham, because if it would have been whistled, it would have been Brandon's third.
Yeah. You certainly don't want to have him get his third foul here in the first half.
Ball triggered down low, trying to get the alley-oop off the inbounds pass, but Matano couldn't throw it down. Picks it back up, puts up a 3, no good. Gets another rebound, keeps it alive to Kissenberth. Jumper left to the lane, spinning out. Another offensive rebound, this time kept alive by Lindsay. Up top again to Kissenberth. What a set play there, Steve.
Yeah. And it looks like the Roaring Lions have their feet in cement, but they're
trying another alley-oop, and he throws it down. Wow! Matano!
That's the difference, Division I versus USCAA, Brian. That's a Division I player right there.
Got to applaud that play. Folks on the TV side are loving it. If you're listening on the radio, watch that one on the TV replay on FCTV.
And what's the call here? It's going to be a foul on Wins on a block, trying to set a screen for Pratt, who got wide open. That's why he got wide open.
And Matano just sets up a whole new dynamic to this offensive set for the Knights. You don't even see too many D1 guys running plays like that, Steve. More in the NBA. Another whistle and a foul called here on Penn State Fayette. This one will go on Hart.
Well,
that'll be Hart's third.
And that's the third foul on Hart.
As Tyrell will trigger it in. Momentum starting to swing in the direction of the Knights. And all coming after that alley-oop. Matano has it up top again, launches a three ball. This one off the mark. Lindsay the offensive rebound. Head fake now puts it up, but no good. Hart the rebound. He needs to be careful out there, Steve, with three. Across to Cunningham. Cunningham bounce pass inside to Wins, had it poked away by Lindsay. And in the hands of Matano, who's stripped by Cunningham. Numbers coming back, and Hart's going to finish the play with an uncontested layup to tie the game up at 30. Cunningham's defense is tremendous this evening. 2:36 to play here in the first half. Marler double teamed up top, keeps it alive. Over to Tyrell, back to Kissenberth, now Tyrell again back between the circles. Tyrell coming inside, poked but saved by Lindsay, baseline. Hands off left, block, and finishing the play is Tyrell again. First points of the night for Tyrell.
And that's a perfect example. Hart knew he had 3 fouls. He couldn't block him there. And I think Mook's going to get him out of there, going to bring Gaines in next whistle. But,
you don't want to see him pick up a fourth foul here in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Pratt coming inside, almost lost the handle, regains left of the lane.
And you knew it killed Ryan Hart to let him shoot a layup there, but he had to do it.
Cunningham again. Shot clock at 13. Cunningham playing a one-on-one game here. Now he's going to step back, shoot the three off the back iron. No good. Foul called off the rebound. Might be over the back here on Matano.
No, it's going to be on
Lindsay.
On Lindsay, yeah. Lindsay pushing there with Wins. And Wins, Brian, he has got to get stronger in there and make some plays when he gets that ball down low.
Gaines to check in for Hart. Wins will shoot 2.
Good job by Hart down there last time, Brian.
No, it's going to be a 1-and-1. Go ahead, Steve.
Not creating that foul. He let who was that? Terrell shoot that layup. He could have easily tried to block that, but he knew he had 3 fouls.
Front end of the 1-and-1 is good for David Wins. Wins only a 58% free throw shooter this year, but is 3 of 3 from the line in this game.
You just put the eyes on him, Brian.
Got to state the facts.
He's 3 for 3 so far in the game.
Well, this made free throw here will tie it up at 32, and it's good. You're too superstitious.
You should have seen the look Mook gave you.
Luke needs to worry less about our broadcast, I think, and coach the team.
He's coaching.
Here's Powery Sans handing off to Tyrell, a drive and a foul.
That's going to be on Wins or Pratt. And it'll be the second on Wins or the first on Pratt. It's on Pratt.
And it'll send Tyrell to the foul line. And Steve, Tyrell is 87% for the season from the foul line.
Let's see what happens.
82 of 94 this season makes the first. Doesn't matter what I say. I don't think my announcing is going to play any impact whatsoever on the game on the floor.
They talk about it all the time on the announcer's jinx. You watch golf every weekend, they'll talk about it.
Tyrell knocks them both down. Vermont Tech back on top by 2 at 34 to 32.
Tell you what, we got ourselves a good ball game here. 2-point game.
Very entertaining. The quality of the basketball has been tremendous. This is only day 1 of the tournament. Here's Cunningham up top, launches the 3 and knocks it down, rattles it home. Puts the Roaring Lions back up by a point again, Steve, at 35 to 34. Second made 3 of the game for Cunningham.
12 points for Cunningham from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Marler up top, has a seam, bounce pass, and a foul on Wins as he fouled Powery Sans down low.
That's at least, I like the aggressive nature from Wins on the defensive end there. Not going to give up the layup or the dunk. And it looked like he had a lot of ball there on that block, but probably a pretty good call by the official.
Powery Sans, the freshman from the Cayman Islands, only 50% this season from the foul line. Has attempted only 10 free throws, 5 of 10 from the foul line.
And that's a pretty good foul then by Wins if he can save at least 1 point. Only going to save 1 at best as he makes the first one.
Average is only 1.9 a game. Second free throw, good. Got a friendly bounce in there. The Knights have shot free throws well tonight, and they lead by 1, 36 to 35 as we go under a minute left here in the first half. Pratt brings it across. Picked up here by Matano. Pass off to his right to Dier Jenkins. Back to Pratt.
Like to see Pratt take Matano to the basket. He's got 2 fouls.
Shot clock at 16. Pratt still working here outside the arc. Now he drives, has a seam off the glass and in.
And there's a perfect example. Matano had to let him go with those 2 fouls.
Pratt knowing the situation on the floor, Steve. He's a heady kid, senior for the Roaring Lions. And wins now, forces a turnover off to Dier Jenkins. To his right to Cunningham, slips, tries to keep it alive. Pratt going for the save out in front.
Oh.
Got ran over by Powery Sons.
No
and they're going to
foul.
say the basketball out of bounds off of Pratt and Fayette campus.
Wow, that's a curious call there. As Powery Sons just leveled Pratt. Fell right on top of him. And Pratt looks like he's okay. He gets up okay, but
Powery Sons probably pushing 250 or 300 in a 6'7" frame. When you're that tall, you can even be lengthy and still weigh a lot. Here's Tyrell. Off to his right to Matano. The shot clock is off. We're down to 7 seconds left here in the first half. Vermont Tech the basketball down by 1. Matano floater on the way, no good. Cunningham the rebound from the other side of the court. His shot attempt no good. Now going to the locker room. Here's Mookie John, the head coach of the Roaring Lions. And Mook, your team up by 1 going to the locker room here in a USCAA tournament game.
No sound.
Luke, your team going to the locker room up by 1 here in a USCAA tournament game has to make you happy.
Well, I don't want to say happy, Brian. It's everything you expect in a national championship game. It's back and forth. It's runs. It's outside shooting. It's solid inside play. The fouls were almost dead even. I think maybe 7-7 or 8-7 at half. So, you know, it's very consistent officiating, and it's a well-played game on both sides of the court.
yeah, Mook, you guys got off to a horrific start shooting the ball, but you're really kind of starting to heat up. You're getting better shot selection. You're really hustling. You got to do something to get the big guy wins more active on the offensive end, though. He's really not doing a lot. He's got a 1 bucket, couple of free throws, but he's got to get more active down low.
Well, I think he does a lot more than what meets the eye, Soup, and horrific's a strong word to use.
Well,
no, I know.
He started out 0 for 11.
No, you're right. We did shoot very poorly in the first half, in the first couple of minutes of that first half, and you know, I think it was a little bit of nerves, a little bit of getting used to the environment. You know, even though we're playing at home, it's a different atmosphere. We're really not playing at home in essence because we're a lower seed, and everybody's really on the same plane here.
Well, the good news is you got to 42%. They're only at 48, so you almost evened up the shooting, so you did a good job.
Gentlemen, thanks. I hope we don't see you after the game.
Thanks.
That means the Roaring Lions will...
One more thing.
Okay, Mook, go ahead.
Sorry, Brian, I got to wish my mother a happy birthday. You know, we don't disclose his age, but today's the 27th. It's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you.
Happy birthday, Mrs. John. The Roaring Lions a 1-point lead going to the locker room of 37-36. Back to recap the first half numbers for you in a moment here on WMBS and FCTV. Back here at the Community Center main arena, Brian Morozak along with Steve Stupick and Mike Sackley. The home team, the Roaring Lions, Steve, with a 37-36 lead as we get ready to start the second half.
Technically the away team today, but you're right, the home team for our purposes. And it's a good game, Brian. We've been talking. It's really been very entertaining. You got some high flyers over there, especially Brandon Matano, the kid from Hawaii. And the Roaring Lions have some issues, though, Brian. They got Ryan Hart with 3 fouls. He's going to start the second half on the bench. And who's going to go out there? Will Gaines, who's normally been the starter, he'll go out there. So you got Mack out there, who's kind of started in Gaines' spot. And now Hart will start the second half on the bench with those 3 fouls.
Might be a smart move here, Steve, to protect them early on, especially with the Roaring Lions having a 1-point lead to start the second half.
And it's interesting that Matano starts on the bench. He's got just 2 fouls, and he seemed like to be the best player on the floor, and he didn't even get to start.
Tyrell sends it into Marlar up top. Marlar, hard pass down low. Tyrell unable to finish the play, but gets his own rebound. Comes back inside and draws the contact.
And that could be on Cunningham, maybe. Yes, it is. That's his 3rd.
First team foul on either side here in the second half, and that'll send Tyrell, as we mentioned in the first half, an 87% free throw shooter to the line to shoot 2, and he misses the first. Tyrell, 4 first half points for Vermont Tech. This free throw will tie the game at 37. It's up on the way and good for Alex Tyrell. Tyrell now with 5. Roaring Lions with the basketball. Game knotted at 37. Opening seconds of the second half. Darius Mack on the near wing. Hands off to Will Gaines.
And Wins is basically commanding a double team as he tries to post up down low.
Gaines hands off to Cunningham, and now Mack for 3, in and out. Rebound tipped around, still poked, and finally controlled by Tyrell, who sends a headman pass down the floor to Scott. Scott hands off to Lindsey out in front of miss. On the putback, Scott again no good, and Cunningham finds it for the Roaring Lions. Across to Mack, hands off, Gaines for 3 from the far wing. No good. But David Wins keeps it alive. Back to Cunningham, who reloads. Again no good. Wins another rebound and gets fouled.
There's a good
Putting
job
it back up.
David Wins fighting down low for rebounds. He got 2 of those rebounds, kept the ball alive, and picked up a couple misses, and he gets to the line. He got hit pretty hard. He's holding his rib, and he looks like he's okay. And on Tyrell, his second.
Physical game between these two teams, Steve.
Interesting, Brian, why Matano doesn't get the start on either half. Of course, he's a great guy to come off the bench, but he seemed to be the most electrifying player on the court.
Maybe Chris Laser is superstitious. Maybe Matano didn't get the start early on in the season and they were winning games. You never know.
You never know. We know our own Mook John's rather superstitious.
A little delay here.
Yeah, they were cleaning up some wet spots on the floor.
With 19:02 left here in the second half. Game knotted up at 37, but Penn State Fayette an opportunity here at the free throw line. David Wins to shoot 2. He's 4 of 4 so far from the foul line. First of 2 here short off the front of the rim.
So both teams shot very well in the first half. Wins the only guy with a free throw attempt for the Roaring Lions, as he's 4 for 5 now. Make that 5 for 6.
Knocks down the second, and Penn State Fayette back on top of Vermont Tech, 38-37, as Marlar brings it across here for the Knights. Comes inside, loses the handle, regains right to the lane, pulls out to Kissenberth, now near side to Scott. Scott lost the dribble, needs help. Bounces it back out to Tyrell, who's picked up here by Cunningham. Tyrell now working left of the lane, coming inside. Met by Wins, pulls back out again to Scott, who hands off up top again to Marlar. Marlar now resetting with a shot clock at 7. Little no-look pass out to Kissenberth, who launches the 3 and air ball. Sent right into the hands of Brandon Cunningham for Penn State Fayette. Across to Mack, trying to pull it back to Cunningham. They weren't on the same page, and Scott picked up the loose basketball for Vermont Tech. Scott takes it back inside, drives in a charge called on Andrew Scott of Vermont Tech.
And credit Will Gaines getting back on the defense. That's his forte. That's why Mook John loves that kid. And that's the second foul on Scott, and Gaines did a good job, like you said, just miscommunication between Mack and Cunningham there. Mack almost looked like a drop pass in hockey, and nobody was there.
Cunningham kicks it in the corner, Mack for 3, no good. Rebound going to Marlar for Vermont Tech. Marlar on the near wing. Now sent in the corner to Scott for 3. Off the side of the rim, no good. Rebound loose. Mack picks it up from his back and sends it over to James Pratt. Pratt back into the Knights zone on the far side. Pratt pressured from behind, but keeps it alive here high on the left. Bounce pass into Wins left of the lane. Wins kicks it out to Darius Mack, and up top to Brandon Cunningham. Cunningham now again up top, resets, comes inside, jumper from the foul line on the way short. Rebound going right to Scott for Vermont Tech.
And the offense sputtering a little bit to start here in the second half.
Penn State Fayette still leading by 1, 38-37. 17:25 left in regulation.
Both teams with just 1 point here in the second half. Kind of an odd start.
Marlar on the far side. Pass intercepted by Brandon Cunningham. Cunningham driving back and scoring for the Roaring Lions as they lead by 3.
Great athletic move by Cunningham to shield himself as he went down for that layup. It kind of looked like a right-handed shot, and then he kind of switched to the left, shielded himself, and got the bucket.
Cunningham with 14. Marlar up top, bounce pass into Lindsey, a little ball fake, now spins, comes inside, move to the basket, but a shot attempt no good, and Lindsey then fouls Gaines off the rebound.
And Lindsey showing some frustration there. That's his 3rd. on Lindsey.
And Lindsey, I think, knows, Steve, he should have had that made two down low.
I think he was frustrated. You're right, because he missed the shot. He missed a chippy, Brian. It looked like a little 2-foot putt that I'd give you all the time on the golf course, and he just missed it. And then he was frustrated and pushed Gaines down to the ground, and so added insult to injury there with the foul.
Now Pratt with it for the Roaring Lions. And down low. A foul called here on Kissenberth.
Yeah, that was dangerous. I thought they might get hard on backing in, and Kissenberth, just his first foul, but that could have went on. If that would have went on hard, it would have been his fourth.
Good break there for Penn State Fayette. Pratt triggers it into Hart, near corner. Ryan Hart now works off to his left. Nice pass down into Cunningham. Had it poked away, but regains here on the near side. Back to Hart, swung to Pratt. Far corner now to Gaines. Gaines comes inside, hands off. Wins, leaner no good. Still loose down low, picked up by Hart. Shovels it back out to Pratt. Pratt comes back inside, move to the basket. Counted in, one, James Pratt.
Wow.
Pratt with 9 can make it 10 here at the free throw line as the Roaring Lions have their largest lead of the game at 5, 42-37 over Vermont Tech.
And that's the fourth foul on Lindsey.
It's a big foul.
Yeah, and he's one that they like to keep in the game.
Timeout Vermont Tech. We'll take one as well. 16-14 left here in the second half. Fayette Campus 42, Vermont Tech 37. We're back in a moment here on WMBS and FCTV.
Visiting the 2013 USCAA National Basketball Championships. The Stonehouse Inn is located in Farmington and offers a unique experience for visitors and patrons with Victorian bed breakfast lodging and first-class dining from Chef Jeremy Critchfield. Or you may also enjoy a picturesque stay at one of many Ohio POW vacation rentals, each of which offers exceptional convenience to the many attractions of the Laurel Highlands. The USCAA thanks its newest sponsors, Stonehouse Inn and Ohio POW Vacation Rentals.
Back here at the main arena. Penn State Fayette 42, Vermont Tech 37. A free throw upcoming for James Pratt of Penn State Fayette. A make here, Steve. Will put the Roaring Lions up by 6 with 16-14 left here in the second half.
And more importantly for the Roaring Lions, you got Lindsey with 4 fouls, and they're going to have to sit him for a little while. And then in comes Power Sands. So you lose a little bit of offense there, as Lindsey averages 14.5 points a game. Power Sands only averages 2.
And the winner to take on Andrews University tomorrow at 2 o'clock here at the main arena. Pratt's free throw is good as he caps off the three-point play. Pratt with 10. And Penn State Fayette, their largest lead of the night at 6, 43-37 over Vermont Tech as Marler brings it across, picked up by Pratt. Directs traffic up top, spins inside. Marler's floater on the way, good. Crowd silencer there for Sam Marler as Vermont Tech pulls back to within 4 at 43-39. Cunningham off to Ryan Hart. Hart dribbles up top, pulls back now to David Wins. Wins holding for the moment. Now coming inside on the drive, scoop shot, no good, gets his own rebound and tips it back up and in. Wins with 9, Roaring Lions lead again by 6. Headman pass down the floor for Vermont Tech and they'll kick it out. 3 ball on the way, rattling out for Tyrell. And Penn State Fayette the rebound.
Yep.
Now the crowd getting into this game, Steve, as the Roaring Lions lead by 6.
Now Mook wanted a fast break opportunity there. Thought he had Gaines going down low. They didn't see him. But I think not a bad move to go and get Wins a shot.
Oh, almost out of the end one there. Shot didn't go. But he's fouled. 2 free throws upcoming again for David Wins with 15-10 left here in the second half. Penn State Fayette, Steve, they're feeling it. They've never won in the winner's bracket here in the USCAA tournament. They did have a win in a consolation game to conclude the season over Berkeley last year. Here's Wins, first of 2, no good off the back of the rim. Wins now 5 of 7 from the foul line tonight. Wynn's now ready for a second. Free throw is up on the way and good for David Wynn's. Wynn's now with an even 10. The lead is 7 for Penn State Fayette. And now Wynn's will get a breather. As Kissenberth will send it in to Marler. Marler in the backcourt. Brings it across. Marler now coming inside. Bounce pass down low and finishing the play, making it look easy. Matano. Matano with 12.
He's on a different level.
Oh, I agree. You can see why he played Division I basketball.
You wonder why he's here, and you wonder why he doesn't start. So there's several questions where you got to wonder.
I think Matano is going to be the key, though, for the Knights if they want to get back into this game here in the second half. The big guy, Hoy, leans and scores. Gotta love it, Steve.
The big guy, Andrew Hoy. The Whopper.
Roaring Lions by 7. 14:29 to play. Tyrell up top. Trying to come free. Big guy coming outside to help out defensively. As Vermont Tech goes cross-court near side to Kissenberth. Is going to spot, shoot, and connect.
So a 3, a timeout, quick
and
timeout.
A quick timeout. Kissenberth with 12, his second made 3 ball of the game. Vermont Tech back to within 4 of Penn State Fayette. We're back in 30 seconds here on FCTV and WMBS. 48-44. Fayette campus leading Vermont Tech by 4. Big 3 there, Steve, from Kissenberth.
Yeah, big 3, and a great job by Andrew Hoy. That's a perfect example. That's the one benefit when Wynn's went down earlier in the year. Hoy got some valuable minutes, and Brian, he showed it there. He put a nice move on Power Sands down low and made a nice bucket. And they were able to answer, though, with Kissenberth coming back with a big 3.
Chris Lazer's squad obviously very talented, Steve. They won the Yankee Small College postseason title over the #1 seed in this USCAA field, New Hampshire Technical Institute.
Andrew Hoy feeling it, looking for the ball down low.
Little contact, though, up top, and the foul will get posted here on Tyrell.
That's his 3rd.
The foul's starting to add up, Steve. Cunningham and Hart, of course, 3 apiece for Penn State Fayette. And of course, Josh Lindsay with 4 already for the Knights. And Tyrell just picked up his 3rd there, sending Brandon Cunningham to the foul line to shoot a 1-and-1.
And both teams maneuvering with foul trouble, and Mook John's been tiptoeing around. He's got Hart with 3 and Cunningham with 3, both of them on the floor, but able to stay out of trouble. And here comes an immediate timeout, it looks like.
With 14:02 left here in the second half, Penn State Fayette leading 48-44. We're back in a moment here on WMBS and FCTV.
It's a presenting sponsor of the 2013 USCAA Basketball National Championships. Nemacolin is a family and luxury vacation destination on 2,000 wooded acres in the Laurel Highlands of southwestern Pennsylvania. From the luxurious Forbes 5-star AAA 5-diamond Falling Rock Boutique Hotel to the comfort of your RV, Nemacolin's 6 lodging options cater to everyone's personal choice with a variety of amenities. It's another season at Nemacolin Woodlands Resort. Also, we remind everyone there is plenty of official 2013 USCAA Basketball Championship merchandise at the Anaconda booth in the concourse of the main arena. To learn more about Anaconda, visit their website at www.anacondasports.com.
Guys, I'll tell you what, this Vermont Tech team really doing themselves in with fouls. Hard to believe Fayette already in the bonus 6 minutes into the second half of play. Incredible feed, and right now the Roaring Lions have to take advantage. They're going to be at the foul line the rest of the way, so free throw shooting could very well be a big factor in this ball game.
Thanks, Mike. Foul 7-1. 7 committed by Vermont Tech here in the second half. Fayette campus only 1, Steve. You have to wonder if things will even up in the second half.
Well, they usually do, but right now it's a big advantage for the Roaring Lions, and hopefully if they can connect in their free throws, they can continue to build on this lead. Just a 4-point lead, though. It's a heck of a ball game, and it's not over yet for sure.
Cunningham 78% for the season from the foul line and makes a big free throw there, connecting on the front end of a 1-and-1. He has 15 points this evening. The second team USCAA All-American.
Glad to see Coach Kesmarski, Rob Kesmarski, Uniontown coach here, rooting on a couple of former Red Raiders today, D.R. Jenkins and James Pratt.
Wanted to make his way out to the main arena, talked with Rob earlier in the week as Cunningham makes the second. He's a big supporter of Mookie John's squad. Obviously, D.R. Jenkins played for Rob when Rob was an assistant under Dave Shuck, and obviously Coach Kesmarski tutored James Pratt over his 4 years at Uniontown. Coming inside, and a push is going to be called here on Fayette campus, Steve.
It could be on Cunningham. Let's see. It's either going to be on Pratt.
That's only a second, so Mook will take that.
Yeah, it looked like a travel. I think Mook wanted the travel call instead of the foul, and Andrew Hoy comes in. A little offense-defense substitution.
Both of our coaches, Chris Laser and Mookie John, looking dapper again tonight. Talking with Mook earlier in the week, he was joking with me, hey, Chris Laser's like my twin out there. Right now off the inbounds pass, it's the Roaring Lions that pick up the loose basketball, Steve.
A good turnover. It was a good job by Hoy. Andrew Hoy, the big guy, to get in there and tip it away.
Has really given the Roaring Lions some great minutes tonight. Here's Gaines coming open. On the wing for 3, it rattles out. Rebound going to Marler for Vermont Tech. Forward to Matano, 3 ball short, rebound tipped right to Follansby for Vermont Tech, who steps back and takes an uncontested 3. Again, no good, and Cunningham the rebound for the Roaring Lions, lead by 6. Cunningham almost copped it up off of his foot. Nice save by Pratt, keeps it alive to Brandon Cunningham again. Cunningham working right of the lane, spins inside, stays with it, shot on the way, off the glass and in, Brandon Cunningham. Cunningham with 18.
It looked a little awkward, Brian. He kind of almost fumbled the ball around. Spin move, off the glass and in.
Long 3 on the way, no good from Kissenberth, but another offensive rebound for the Knights. They'll send it cross court back to Tyrell. Kicks it back out again, and here's Matano again for 3, yes. Matano with 15, his third 3 of the game. Gives Vermont Tech life. They're down 5 with 12:38 left here in the second half. Pratt back across here for Penn State Fayette. Picked up by Marler. Pratt left to the lane, and Marler's going to foul. Pratt, are they going to count the basket? No, they're going to say it's on the floor. It'll still be a 1-and-1, though, for the Roaring Lions.
Just the first foul. Yeah, all these guys got fouls, but that's just the first one on Marler. And that'll be a good job for Pratt to go to the line now. See if he can convert. And a couple more fouls are going to be in the bonus. Well, they'll be shooting 2 all the way, but this one's a 1-and-1.
Pratt 83% for the season. Knocks down the front end of the 1-and-1. Pratt now 2 of 2 tonight from the foul line. Has 11.
And now there's the Coach John and then Coach Davis telling their squad, watch out, they're going to start jacking 3s, and that's a good coaching job there because this team likes to shoot them anyway. And now when they're down with 12 minutes left, they're going to start launching them, and they can shoot them, Brian, so you got to be careful.
Penn State Fayette leading 54-47. Follansby up top, sends it off to his left to Kissenberth. Kissenberth now looking to spin inside, nothing there. Back out again to Matano. Matano's going to launch the 3. It's good again. Brandon Matano has made 4 threes in this game. He has 18 points, keeping Vermont Tech in it. They're down only 4, 54-50. Fayette campus works it down to David Wins. Wins leads and scores. Wins with 12, including 6 here in the second half. Penn State Fayette leading by 6. Again, a foul away from the ball.
And that's going to be on
Gaines.
No, that's on
Gaines.
Yeah, Gaines. Okay. He went 2-1. I thought he went 1-2. That's would have been Cunningham. So that's first foul on Gaines.
Only the third team foul against Penn State Fayette here in the second half. Penn State Fayette leading by 6, 56-50. Inbounds pass sent into Scott. Pulls it back again to Matano. Matano feeling it out there. Baseline feed. And they're going to call a charge here on Kissenberg.
I was going to say, Brian, that would have been a tough call because was that Gaines or Cunningham that had position there? It was a Gaines. Gaines was sitting there waiting for Kissenberg to come in and got leveled. And a good job by, there's another thing you don't see in the stat sheet, Brian. Will Gaines taking the charge.
Gotta love it. Roaring Lions lead by 6. We kind of hesitated for a moment there off the whistle, but the Roaring Lions getting the call. Wins up top. Penn State Fayette the basketball leading by 6. Hands off to Jenkins. Sent up top again to James Pratt. Pratt holds near wing. Head fake on the 3. Baseline again to Jenkins. Jenkins drives. Hands off, wins. Left block a miss. Put back again, no good. Wins. Fights and scores on the 3rd attempt.
That's the wins we've been looking for. Fight for those rebounds, big guy.
He is 8 here in the second half and 14 for the game. Penn State Fayette leads by 8. Scott on the far side. Far corner. Fallensby tipped out of bounds.
Tipped by Pratt. Cunningham tried to save it, but the ball bounced on the out-of-bounds line. And 58-50, 10:55 left.
Matano to work it in. Sends it into Scott, puts it down, back up again, and scores. Andrew Scott, his first bucket here in the second half is 4 for the game. The Fayette campus lead back down to 6 again at 58-52 with 10:42 left here in regulation. Pratt drives back, little floater goes down for James Pratt.
Boy, is this game matured, Brian. That's a shot that he has just developed in the last year or so.
Matano far side, another 3 ball on the way. Good again, boys. He feeling it. They're going to say foot on the line.
Foot on the line, that's 2.
He has 20.
Not much you could do there. Gaines had pretty good position. That was a pro-style move.
Wins over to Cunningham, rejected down low.
That was Matano with that leaping ability. Brian came from the backside and just swatted it.
And he picks it back up, thought about the 3. Will pass it over to Kissenberg. Launches no good. Jenkins the rebound in traffic for Penn State Fayette. So Penn State Fayette with the basketball back again, leading by 6 as we go under 10 minutes left here in the second half. Bounce pass into Wins. Wins left to the lane, comes inside, leans, misses. Loose down low, picked up by Tyrell of Vermont Tech. Tyrell through center, off to his right. Look out, and draining another 3 is Matano. Matano with 23, including 5 made threes. It's a one-possession game again at 60-57.
And Matano is just unconscious.
Here's Cunningham coming back. Nice feed down low to Pratt, who lost the handle, but actually tipped out by Fallensby. So it remains with Penn State Fayette, and that'll take us to immediate timeout with 9:19 left here in the second half. Penn State Fayette 60, Vermont Tech 57. Back in a moment on WMBS and FCTV. Okay. Time check. Okay. Back here after the media timeout, Penn State Fayette with the basketball leading by 3, and Matano's been the difference for Vermont Tech in this game, Steve, keeping them in this game.
Yes, he has. 5 out of 8 from three-point land, 9 out of 14 from the field. He's got 23 points.
Penn State Fayette sending it in to Ryan Hart. Our little head fake, leans inside, off the glass, no good on that shot attempt, loose down low. And a foul called here on Penn State Fayette over the back against Mack.
It's going to be Darius Mack, his first. And that's a tough call there on Mack, Brian. And really, Ryan Hart needs to, he backed in down there. He needs to make that shot. He was only a couple feet away.
Tyrell brings it back across for Vermont Tech. D'd up here by Mack. On the wing to Matano, far side Kissenberth in the corner to Scott. Scott now comes inside, hands off, and a charge called on Scott. Great job by Pratt to hold position.
And again, you wonder what they're thinking, Brian. They're hitting 3 after 3. You live and die by it, but Brian, the way they're shooting, they're doing better. They're doing better shooting threes than they are trying to drive into the hoop.
I believe, Steve, according to my numbers, they've made 8 so far in this game. 5 of them from Matano.
Yes, that's correct.
Penn State Fayette with it back again in a 3-point lead. Mack, open look, far wing for 3, too strong. Wins fighting for the rebound, tipped around, still loose. Hart looking for the save, but Vermont Tech comes out of the mix with a basketball. Ahead to Matano, look out. Matano stops, pops, shoots, but misses from the outside, this time in and out. Pratt the rebound for Penn State Fayette. Spins up to Cunningham. Cunningham, fancy dribbling, coming inside, floater on the way, short off the front of the rim. Follensby the rebound. Ahead of Matano again. Matano this time is going to drive inside and score. It's a 1-point game. Matano 15 here in the second half, has 25 for the game. And the Penn State Fayette lead is down to 1 at 60-59 with 7:53 left here in the second half. Cunningham up top, he's going to shoot the 3, short off the front of the rim. Wins was held down low, no foul called. As Scott dribbles through center here for Vermont Tech, kicks it out. This is for the lead, right wing, in and out again from Matano. Rebound loose, far side, out of bounds off of Follensby, and over to Penn State Fayette.
And Penn State Fayette campus, Brian, expending a lot of energy right now, chasing around Matano and Kissenberth. And right now, you just got to catch your breath a little bit. And kind of the pace of the game is favored Vermont Tech in the last 5 or 6 minutes, Brian. I think you got to get back to grinding it out on the offensive end and force them to use a little clock as well.
Here's Mack up top to Pratt. Pratt now backing out here between the circles. Bounce pass into David Wins. Wins, no look feed, down low, Mack spins and scores. Darius Mack.
Great look by Wins. Kind of over the shoulder flip. And Mack actually had to make a move to finish it off.
Mack has 4. Penn State Fayette leads by 3 at 62-59. Kissenberth far side, comes inside. Now pulls it back out to Follensby. And now Tyrell for 3 off the mark.
Great
Pratt the rebound.
Pratt.
Fighting off Follensby and sending it ahead to Mack. Mack jumper left of the lane for 2, no good. Score the putback though for Ryan Hart. Only Hart's second bucket of the night. That comes here to put the Roaring Lions up by 5.
That's the Ryan Hart we know, Brian, and just a good tough-nosed rebounder. A lot of those garbage buckets around the rim.
Giving the Roaring Lions a little bit of insurance here. Floating back and scoring though is Tyrell. Tyrell with 7. It's a 1-possession game again at 64-61. Fayette campus by 3 over Vermont Tech with 6:15 to play. Pratt back into the Vermont Tech zone. On the far wing to Mack. He's going to launch the 3. Off the front of the rim, no good.
And they're letting him shoot it out there. They're double teaming Wins, forcing Mack to shoot.
Tyrell comes back, sets up Kissenberth. Top of the key for 3, off the mark. Offensive rebound. Picking it up is Matano. Floater coming back, no good. And the Roaring Lions out of the mix with a basketball. Pratt over to Darius Mack. Under 6 minutes left here in the second half. Penn State Fayette trying to hang on. They lead by 3. Wins inside. Out to Mack. Near side to Pratt. In again to Hart. Hart leans inside. Shovels off to Mack. Loses the handle. Regains. Shot clock at 15 as Pratt picks it up on the far side. Pratt now trying to fight his way inside. No room there. Ball kicked by Follensby. And we're going to have the shot clock reset back to 15 seconds as the ball was kicked.
And Hart will check out. Dear Jenkins checks in, and here comes Lindsay. Comes back in for Kissenberth.
Lindsay with 4 personal fouls, but as we go under 5 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the second half. You might as well put it back on the floor with the team down by 3. Cunningham will trigger it in for the Roaring Lions of Penn State Fayette. Now a little delay here. Now Cunningham will pick up the basketball and he'll trigger it in.
And Lindsey almost picked up his 4th foul before the ball was even thrown in. He's grabbing Wins.
Would have been his 5th. As Pratt comes inside, leans, misses, no foul called. Gaines tries to keep it alive. He does so to Wins. Wins another shot attempt, no good. Put back, no good. Still loose. Pratt finds it out in front. Couldn't get the and one, but he's fouled. 2 free throws upcoming for James Pratt, and they'll call this foul on Scott, and that'll be his 4th.
And Brian, the officials were very nice to Lindsey there, as he almost had picked up his 5th foul. He hit Wins a couple times on that down low play.
And now Pratt will go to the foul line. He's 3 of 3 tonight. The Roaring Lions lead by 3, trying to add to it right now. 1st of 2 from Pratt, no good. 5:11 to play here in the second half.
And don't think for a minute the officials don't know who has 4 fouls out there.
I'm sure they're aware of the game as well. And now Pratt for a second. This one is good for James Pratt. Pratt with 15 this evening. The lead back up to 4 again at 65-61. With 5:07 to play. And a little contact here at midcourt. Gaines is going to pick up the foul as he made contact with Tyrell. That's only the 5th team foul, though, against Penn State Fayette here in the second half, Steve.
Just a 2nd foul on Gaines. 5th foul happened. That's just kind of a silly foul out there at midcourt.
Collins, go ahead, Steve.
Like to save him for maybe stopping a layup or something like that, just kind of reaching in there.
Far side Scott resets up to the wing. Ball fake, sent up to Follansby. Near side Matano. Have to look out anytime he touches the basketball. Shot clock at 18. Matano, fancy dribbling up top. Now sends it off to his left. Tyrell launches the 3-2 strong. A scrum for it, out of bounds. Last touch by Lindsey, going out and over to Penn State Fayette.
And we were talking in the break with Mike Sackley how open Matano's been, but he's so quick they have to back off for fear of him going around him.
Takes us to immediate timeout. 4:42 left here in the second half. Penn State Fayette 65, Vermont Tech 61. Back in a moment on WMBS and FCTV.
Fayette up 65-61, 4:42 left. Vermont Tech, they've been shooting a lot of 3 balls. They've been making them a little bit earlier on in this half. It's starting to die with the 3 right now as they've gone cold from downtown in the last couple of minutes.
Hard to stay hot, but still a game, Mike. Penn State Fayette leads by 4. 4:36 to play here in the second half.
And Lindsey and Wins are really battling down low.
Gaines sends a cross court to Jenkins. 3-ball on the way, in and out. Offensive rebound. Pratt keeps it alive and dances outside the arc.
That gets another 35 seconds, and Mook wants them to use a little bit of it.
You're up 4, you might as well with 4:18 to play. Pratt far side. Fayette campus searching for their first win ever in the winner's bracket. And now a timeout called by the Penn State bench. With 4:11 left here in regulation.
30-second timeout.
We'll step aside for a quick 30-second timeout as well here on FCTV and WMBS. Back here at the main arena, Brian Morozak, Steve Superk, and Mike Sackley, 4:11 to play, 65-61 Fayette.
The Fayette campus has some experience on the floor, Brian. They got Jenkins out there, Gaines, Pratt, Cunningham, their best player, and Wins.
Here's Cunningham back to Gaines. Shot clock at 15, game clock at 4:05 left here in the second half. Gaines on the wing. Holding outside, shot clock down to 7. Gaines coming baseline, loses the handle out of bounds over to Vermont Tech. Penn State Fayette looking a little bit hesitant out there, Steve. Not the play Mook wanted after a timeout. As Matano picks it back up here for Vermont Tech. Matano, look out. Will kick it out to Scott for 3 to make it a 1-point game. He knocks it down from the corner. Andrew Scott.
Freshman from Melbourne, Florida.
The lead down to 1, 65-64. 3:36 left here in the second half. Pratt back across for Penn State Fayette. Pratt now dancing outside the arc, backing out here on Tyrell. Now Pratt's going to launch the NBA range 3 off the mark. Offensive rebound, Gaines bailing out Pratt. Off to Cunningham. Cunningham drives and scores on a floater. Wow, you're right.
There's a steal by Gaines.
Great job by Will Gaines on the far side.
Where's Pratt? He's got to go get the ball. There he goes.
Get a head fake on the 3 ball. Take some time right now. You lead by 3 with 2:55 to play. Printing high on the left, shot clock at 19. Game clock at 2:49 left here in the second half. Pratt hands off to Gaines. Gaines thought about the 3, now comes inside. Kicks it in the corner to Jenkins, who's going to launch the 3 short. Offensive rebound, wins! Scores on a putback. That's a big bucket, Steve, with 2:35 to play. Miscommunication off the inbounds pass, but Vermont Tech keeps possession.
There's almost a steal by Cunningham, putting heavy pressure on Matano.
Matano can take it, though.
Yes, he can.
Hands off to Kissenberth. In the corner again to Scott. He just knocked down a 3 from that position. Rotates up top, and he's called for a traveling violation. You can hear it from the crowd now. 2:15 to play. The Roaring Lions lead by 5.
A lot of time left when you can shoot 3s like Vermont Tech can. But I tell you what, Brian, this Matano kid, he might be the best player you and I have ever seen.
At this level.
Yeah, at this level, yeah. I mean, that we've ever broadcasted. And we've done some Division II teams. But this kid looks like a notch above everyone on the floor. It's just curious that he doesn't play the whole game.
Here's Pratt high on the left. Penn State Fayette the basketball in a 5-point lead. The winner to take on Andrews University here at the main arena, 2 o'clock tomorrow in the quarterfinals. Pratt slips, regains shot clock at 19. Game clock under 2 minutes left here in the second half. Wins left to the lane. Ball fake, comes inside, loses the handle, out of bounds, and over to Vermont Tech. That's a big turnover there, giving the Knights some life with 1:52 to play.
Pretty good defense by Lindsay that time. And 5-point lead. Got to play some defense.
Kissenberth works it into who else? Matano. Matano brings it across, 1:48 to play. Got a guard outside the arc at this point. Matano trapped, works out of it to Kissenberth. Kissenberth comes inside, and his pass is intercepted by Gaines. Ahead to Jenkins. Numbers coming back. Feeds off to his left to Cunningham, and 1.
And that foul's on Matano. That was a touch foul. Brian, not much there, but we'll take it. Actually, no, it's on 4. That's Tyrell. It's his 4th. Great defense that time. Good. It was actually the double team by Jenkins set the whole thing up. He doubled with Cunningham, and then they forced Matano to throw the ball away, and then in comes Gaines for the steal. So great team defense by the Roaring Lions.
The lead is 7. It could be 8 here if Cunningham knocks down a free throw. Cunningham with 22 already in this game. Free throw attempt good. The lead is 8 with only 1:35 to play. The Roaring Lions can smell the quarterfinals. As Matano brings it back across. Picked up here by Cunningham. Matano works off to his left. Matano coming inside, loses the handle, ball loose, picked back up by Tyrell. Long too far, corner no good. Rebound Jenkins. Out to Cunningham. 1:15 to play. Penn State Fayette the basketball leading by 8.
And Pratt goes over there and grabs the ball away from Cunningham.
Pratt in the corner to Gaines for 3. Yes! Will Gaines!
Wow. That was one of those, oh no, yes. A little early in the shot clock to shoot it, but we'll take it.
The lead 11. Tyrell's three, no good. Follins beat offensive rebound. Back to Tyrell. Floater in the lane, no good. Tip-in is good. And a quick timeout. Lindsay scoring on the putback. 49 seconds left. Fayette campus by 9. We're back in a moment on WMBS and FC TV.
God, I got to teach this guy everything.
Fayette campus leading Vermont Tech by 9. If the Roaring Lions, hold on, Steve, we'll have the game tomorrow against Andrews University here on WMBS at 2 o'clock.
We'll announce that at the end of this game.
Okay.
Back in the game for Vermont Tech.
Mook wouldn't talk to us if we announced it now.
It is Fayette campus's basketball as well, as Hart will work it in. Sent into Brandon Cunningham across to Gaines. Numbers coming back. They'll feed it off to Mack. Behind his back to Gaines. That's a goaltending violation on Powery Songs.
Wow, what a pass by Gaines. A great look by Gaines, or I'm sorry, by Mack to give it to Gaines. Give credit to
Gaines
basket.
the basket.
Yes.
He has 7. The lead, Steve, 11 with 43 seconds left.
And give the Roaring Lions credit, Brian, for attacking when they have the opportunities, not foolishly taking shots. But if they're gonna give you layups, you got to take them.
Through center, Matano. Matano kicking it in the corner for 3. Follins no good. Tipped around and controlled by the Roaring Lions. Headman pass up to Jenkins. Will pull back out to Cunningham, who leans and scores.
Another layup.
He has 25.
Mook wants him to run the clock out, but he'll take layups.
Brad into the Knights bench. He's okay. Everyone down there okay. The Roaring Lions lead by 13 with 24 seconds left. Matano handing off. 3 ball on the way. No good. Tyrell. Loose up top. Deflected out of bounds. Over to Penn State Fayette.
That'll do it.
With 13 seconds left.
Now you can announce it.
We'll have the game tomorrow, Penn State Fayette and Andrews University in the quarterfinals. A 2 o'clock tip here from the main arena. Inbounded to Pratt. Back to Mack. You can hear it from the crowd. Final 10 seconds. And for the first time ever, the Roaring Lions men's team gets a win here in the USCAA tournament in the winners bracket. They won a consolation round game last year. And the win one that counts tonight. 79-66 over Vermont Tech. Back to tell you all about it in just a moment here on FC TV and 590 WMBS.
The USCAA and Fayette TV thank Ford Business Machines, 700 Laurel Drive in Connellsville, for their support of our student athletes and the 2013 National Basketball Championships. Ford Business Machines believes in giving back to the community and is proud to make today's broadcast possible. Please visit Ford Business Machines today for your copier service, managed print services, IT services, and paperless technology needs, or call them at 800-633-3673.
Back here at the main arena, Brian Morozak along with Steve Subrick and Mike Sackley joining us now. Mookie John, the head coach of the Penn State Fayette Roaring Lions, and Mook, a monumental victory for your program, 79-66 here in the first round of the USCAA National Tournament over Vermont Tech.
And I think Brian, if I'm not mistaken, it's the first national championship win in the first round or preliminary
in the winner's
round.
bracket.
In the winner, yeah, and first time for Fayette in the winner's bracket, and that's a testament to the way these guys come out in the second half and played basketball. Not just in the second half, but for 40 minutes. You know, they came out and it was a slow start, and they made some mistakes early, but they didn't let that get to them. These guys did a heck of a job of playing, and man, they're warriors. They are absolute warriors, and I got to tip my hat off to our guys. As well as Vermont Tech. They had a heck of a season, and they still got a consolation game. They won their conference championship, which says a lot for them.
Matano scored 25, including 5 made threes for Vermont Tech. But you let him have his points, and you did the damage down low. You look at the second half, Brandon Cunningham, 13 second half points. David Wins, what a performance he had tonight. 10 in the second half, 16 for the game. Pratt played so big, and even your bench guys, Hoy and Ryan Hart with 4 tonight, but when he got involved in the lineup, did a fantastic job for your Roaring Lions.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ryan, he got into a little bit of foul trouble, but I think that's why James Pratt was an honorable mention All-American, and I think that's why Brandon Cunningham was a second-team All-American. These guys they're basketball players, man, and they do it with the right attitude, which is most important.
Well, doubleheader here tomorrow. You'll play Andrews University 2 o'clock here on WMBS. We'll have the women's game at 6. A long day of basketball for the local basketball fans, Mook, and we are pumped for the quarterfinals.
Dude, I can't wait to send a text to our receptionist at school and tell her I need a half a personal day so that we can be here and play one more game in the winner's bracket and give these seniors and give these guys that have been playing together for so long another crack at a national championship.
Mook, I know some of your players are standing by as well, and we're going to talk with them as well. Brandon Cunningham now making his way over, and Brandon Cunningham finishing with 25 tonight, including 13 in the second half. Brandon, you took home a second-team All-American award in the USCAA last night, but I think the win tonight over Vermont Tech kind of supersedes that.
Oh, yeah, this is a big win for us moving on to the second round. We played good ball, came and did what we had to do and got this win.
Yeah, you more than played good ball tonight. You really stepped up your game. They had some talented players, but your seniors really came up big, and you as a sophomore with 25 points, what can you say?
Oh, man, I'm just playing my game out there. You know, our seniors really carry us. We play for them, and that's what it's all about, just getting these wins, and hopefully we can keep moving in this tournament.
Brandon, it was fantastic to watch. You guys got off to a little bit of a slow start. You guys couldn't hit any shots from the outside. And then when they brought in Matano, which we were surprised he didn't start, but he had to be. We thought, Brian and I thought he was the fastest player we played all year. And you had the assignment of guarding him most of the night, and you did a pretty good job on him. And he had to be one of the best players you played against all year.
Oh, yeah, he's an honorable mention All-American. So, you know, we have to show him his respect. And he comes off the bench, so he's even better player coming off the bench. But, you know, we did good on him today. We didn't let him get out in open court a little, but he was hitting his threes. He got hot in the second half there, and that's how he got all his points. But he played good ball today.
Quick turnaround, though. You're back on this floor in 16 hours. How does that impact your preparation?
Oh, man, just go get some rest, go home, you know, enjoy the time with my family. That's out here. And but I have to get a good night's sleep tonight so I can come in play good ball against Andrews tomorrow.
Good luck tomorrow, buddy. We'll be here.
Thank you. I can't wait. Thank you.
Okay,
Brandon Cunningham, Roaring Lions sophomore, joining us. We'll be back with more in our post-game show in a moment. Roaring Lions win 79-66 here on WMBS. Back here at Penn State Fayette, the Eberly campus, a big win for the Penn State Fayette men, 79-66 over Vermont Tech, Steve, and a huge win just for the Penn State basketball program.
It was incredible. It was a great ball game. They took a great shot from a good Vermont team. Penn State went back and forth early in the second half. Penn State got a little bit of a lead, and then they took a good punch, and Vermont really started hitting threes and making shots. But Fayette campus answered, and they answered in a big way, and they come out with a big victory.
And your final score, 79-66. Penn State Fayette defeating Vermont Tech here on WMBS and Fayette County TV.
The USCAA and Fayette TV thank Ford Business Machines, 700 Laurel Drive in Connellsville, for their support of our student athletes and the 2013 National Basketball Championships. Ford Business Machines believes in giving back to the community and is proud to make today's broadcast possible. Please visit Ford Business Machines today for your copier service, managed print services, IT services, and paperless technology needs, or call them at 800-633-3673.